Deep in the heart of Walt Disney World are two theme parks that are inexplicably abandoned. These two theme parks were sub-parks, adjacent to each other. One was called Discovery Island. Discovery Island was originally called Wright's Island, and Wright's Island was a place that fishermen and huntsmen would go as a vacation home before the property was bought by the dummy companies of Walt Disney Company. And it was pretty much a petting zoo for animals, birds, snakes, that sort of thing. Toward the end, it was usually pretty abandoned. There was only a few people on it. The ticket was like $20 to get on the island, 21 I think actually. When an admission ticket to Disneyland was, I think, $53. So people didn't see the point, except for some people liked it because it was quiet, it was laid back, it was a kickback place where you can get away from the rustle and bustle of Disney World. The other place was called River Country. It was the first water park ever put into Florida, and it pumped water straight from Bay Lake, filtered through some filters, and then put into the water park and its attractions, one of which being its heated pool. In 1980, a kid died being exposed to a parasite from the heated pool, known as Nigella fowli, which is known as brain-eating amoeba. Once the water passages with that parasite get into your sinuses, you have a 5% chance of living. But that was all the way back in 1980, and the closure was in the late 90s. Discovery Island soon followed, and no real good explanation was given to the closure of these attractions. But many theories among Disney fans do exist. One such theory is that a bioterrorist actually infected the areas with a spore or an anthrax or something as such. These days would be right before World Trade Center, and Al Qaeda was blowing up the coal, was doing a lot of terrorist acts. It is very possible that such an attack did occur, and Disney just kept it quiet because they didn't want Al Qaeda to feel like they were succeeding. That's one theory. Another was that bacteria or parasites had built up in the area so bad that you couldn't actually tear it down safely, and that OSHA would never let workers into the area to tear it down and put it into attraction. The explanation given, of course, was that Discovery Island was not profitable and River Country was not profitable. But many Disney fans say it's not true. As the very last day that River Country was open, it was open to capacity. It actually couldn't let more people in. Blizzard Beach and Hurricane Harbor were the water parks that replaced them, apparently. But people say that the area of Disney World, which is known as Wilderness Front, is actually a very good place to have a water park, and that people from the resorts around that area liked that water park a lot, and it was very local, so you didn't have to travel down into the area where all the other stuff is below Epcot to go to a water park, and people liked it. It had an old swimming hole kind of feel, and it made a perfect combination to the other two parks, this one being like the old watering hole in the south. Until explanation is given to why this was torn down, we will never know how a place like Sentosa Island